children, today we discuss about user-defined method, that is chapter number 5. Now let's see. User-defined methods. A part of the program which is used simultaneously at different instances in a program to perform specific tasks and is known as method of function. The concept of function is very useful in the field of mathematics. If we say that x is a function of if we say that y is a function of x, so which is expressed as y equal to g of x. The same thing if we apply in a computer, x has as input 7 to minus 2, it will give you y has a output. So we can assume a function has a block capable of accepting one or more inputs but returning a single output is shown in the above diagram. So we can conclude that a function is a black box for the user that is capable of returning an output. Similarly, the method available in Java class act as a black box. When we supply values, that means argument, to a method, it processes the code available within it and return the output. See that one figure, input, that is argument, Java code, and it will give you output as a return value. Now we come to advantages of function. First point, it hides low level inner code details from the user. Second point, it reuse the segment of class code whenever and wherever required, but simply using method name. Third point, it make a complex computational task easy by dividing it into a collection of smaller methods. So these 3 points are the advantages of functions. Now we come to the declaration of a method in Java. How we declare a function in a Java. You have to write public static void my function int a and a float b. So public is what? As a specifier. Then static is what? Modifier. Void is return type. My function, that is function name. And int a and float b, what was that? Parameter list. So whole week, and this here is function body. This part is a function body. So this green part, that means public static void my function int a int b, what we call function prototype. This is the declaration of a method in Java. Now we come to defining a function. How we define a function? Defining a method stands for creating complex structures along with a logical and computational block of a method. So the general form of defining a method has shown below. What have to write? As a specifier. As a specifier are 4 types is there: public, private, product, that you will study later on. After that, return type. Then method name, and this one is the parameter list. And this part is what? Function body. Now suppose you have one example is that suppose you have to do in a function addition of 2 numbers. So how will you do? You will write public int add and int a and int b. That 2 integer data type you have to take, and a and b are the variable. After that you have to write int c is equal to 0. C is equal to a plus b. Then what have to return? C. And this part what we call block. This is the function block. This is the doing functions in a Java. After that, this return, which for return? This return you have to come here, and what is a return statement? That this return you have to study that what is a return statement. The return statement which send back the value, that means output from a method to the caller program. Now come to the features of return statement. It is applied at the end of a method. That means it is applied at the end of the method from where it terminates. So it is applied at the end of the method where it terminates. Second point, no statement in the method can be executed after return statement. So no statement can be executed. See one example. int c is equal to 0, c is equal to x plus y, return c. And after that c is equal to x minus y. This is your return c is your executing. But this s is equal to x minus y, this will not be executed. Then come to the third point. It can only return a single value from a method to its caller. So see the example. Int c is equal to 0, int b is equal to 0, c is equal to x plus y. Then semicolon, b is equal to x minus y, semicolon. And it will return c, comma v, semicolon. So what will be happen? This will not execute because this is an illegal approach, because we are giving two c and b. So this will not execute, it was illegal. Now come to the fourth point. A function may have more than one termination point. If, example C, if x is greater than y, you have to return x. Otherwise, else return y. So here, either the x will be execute or y will be execute, depend upon the x and y variable. Now, fifth point. In case of a multiple return statement implied in a method, only one of them can be activated to return the control. Example, int a equal to 0, int b equal to 0, int c equal to a plus b, semicolon, int d equal to a into b, semicolon. Here return c and return d are there. Only c will be executed, d will not be executed. So these are the features of a return statement. Now we come to the method name. Method name is what? This int add is a method name. Now what is method name? The name of a method is used to identify the method in a program. So you have to identify the method in a program. See, one program is there, int total. Then after that int a number. So here total is there. This part is your method name. Int is your return type, and this is a value passed to the method. So method name should always start with a lowercase. Always remember, method name should always start with a lowercase letter. Now next one, parameter list. A parameter list acts as a variables that accept value and pass it to the method. Second point, the parameter list contain variables value to the parameter list contain variables along with the data type separated by comma. See here, example, return type, method name, argument 1, argument 2 and argument 3. So which is our parameter list? This is your parameter list. Then this part is a body of the method, and this is a value to be a return, and this was a method name. So these are the parameter list. Now we come to the invoking a functions. How will you invoke a functions? The process of using a method in a program is referred invoking, or we can say that is calling a method. Now here one program is there. Here import java.io ** semicolon. Then you have to give the class name. Class, what was that? Sum. Then open the curly bracket. What have to write? Public int add. Int m and int n, two variables you are given in a integer data types. Then you open the curly bracket. Now here you are writing int s is equal to 0, s is equal to m plus n, then return s. So this part is your which part? Function. Now you are doing the function. This you are doing the functions. Now after that you have to write public static void main string args through io exception. Then after that you have to write give integer data type. You have to put three variables a, b and p. Then use the input stream reader and system.out. Enter the two number, and you have to enter the two number a and b. Now come to here point. Sum obj. Obj means what? Object. And is equal to new sum. This is what? Creating the object of the class sum. So our class is what? This. What was that? Object. So this part is your sum obj is equal to new sum, that is the creating object of the class sum. Now our main question what was that? Invoking a function. Now you have to invoke a function. Invoke a function, come here, P. We have taken 3 variables now. In P you have to do P is equal to object dot add. What is a function name? Add. This is your function name. No, you have to do function name. You have to call this function here. P is equal to object dot add. What I have to do? 2 variable you have to give. So this part is what? Invoking method add. Invoking a method, or you can say as invoking a function here. Then after that you have to print system dot out dot println the sum is P. Which you have to print P. That means after function you have to use as a stream reader, that is called as a invoking a function. For invoking a function you have to do bring the function name here. After that you have to print P. So this was invoking a functions. So hope my dear children you have understood this user defined function. Thank you.